This video is to show you how to use AI with the three different parts of the system, your objectives and the AI and your sections to generate what you want. Now let's come back to here and we're going to look to see what we have. Let's look at our documents that we have to start with. We're looking that we have a table of contents that we have uploaded and made. And basically this table of contents in this is what you're wanting to create as your sections headings. Now you can, if you want to, go through and just, physically just add each one and type it in, and that's an option. But the question is, how do you use AI to do this for you? So that's what we're looking at. How do we take this table of contents with these names and how do we turn those into sections all the way through here? That's what we're trying to achieve. All right. Now, also what we remember is that we have our objectives. So we have already entered in these objectives, and if you open them up, you'll see they have their sub-objectives, and we're going to use these later, but in the order of things, this all comes together. You need to have your objectives in the system first, and I will show you why. Because when you come to building these contents and you're adding your section, each section can then be tied to a portion of can be tied to its objective. All right, now let's see how this actually works. So let's go to generate. Now when we're here, remember this is an AI generator and the prompt is everything. I'm going to show you there are ways that you can upload a document or bring something from the content library and use it to enter into the sections. I'm going to show you the simplest way, which is cutting and pasting and putting in some of the titles right here, and to show you how this works. Now remember, prompts are an art form. So if something doesn't work, then you can try a different prompt. There isn't any magic prompt that will always do everything immediately. We will be giving at some point in time some lists of some suggested prompts, but I want to show you a way that's almost foolproof that you can do it no matter what. So I want to enter these objectives. So I'm going to have a list. Here is the clean list of just the titles. So now I have just the title names of everything that I wanted to use. Now this is where in particular I just took a lot of these things, ran them through ChatGPT, other ones, and just created these very simple, very easy to be able to enter in with just this clean list. So obviously I don't need to have all of these. I've got these right here. So these are the ones I want to make sections out of. Now I want to come in here and also say I want any objectives that I want to include those. And I'm going to show you how this all comes together. So you're going to pick out the titles that you want. You're going to pick out the objectives that these titles could tie to. And then you're going to want your prompt, which is just to generate these sections based on the titles. All right, and let's just see what happens here. Generate. Okay, nothing happened, so let's try it again. All right. Let's do this prompt first. Right, generate these sections. Right, let's just start with that. Add our three objectives. Part of this is a learning process. It is going to be a little of trial and error as you learn to do these things. And there it is. Okay, now let's go ahead. We see that we have the ones that we wanted. Let's accept that. And now there they are. Now this isn't all the ways that you want them because you're going to see a couple things. If you see them in the dark print like this with these things here and you open this up, you're going to see that it's acting like a chapter heading. So if you want to turn that off, all you do is have them to have the modules. All right, so we can do that. You can go in with these if you want to, but the main thing you're going to do is go in and make sure that these are tied to the correct objectives. Now remember, you've offered all three. Now what I would suggest is that you have another document that you're working off to, and this is very easy to create through ChatGPT, where you just say, tie my objectives to the titles. So you know immediately. So I have created such a document, and I know that these first two have section 1. So I'm going to make sure that this one's fine. Now the objective is there. I'm going to look at this one, and I'm going to say, oh, no, I want that one to still have the first one, the first objective. So you can come through here and just check to make sure that you have the objective that you want. Now, one other way you can do this is you don't have to enter all of them at once. You could do a smaller ones at a time. So let's say you know that 3 chapters headings, and you go through here. So instead of, let's do this one. Generate these sections. And I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to have these first 2, and I'm going to tie those only to that first objective. That's the only ones that the ones I know. And so I can go ahead and enter them in this way, and then I'm not going back if I have to and double checking on all the different type of objectives. Now you might say, well, this seems like a lot of work. It gets easier and easier, and especially here it is. Here's the new ones that we have down here, so we can come down here and accept them. Look here at the end, and they're already done for us with the right objective. It gets easier to set it up like this. This is a really good way of doing it. I would encourage you to work with it, because once you do this, then it gets easier to add the modules the same way. It gets easier to add everything, and it just becomes faster. It can be very tedious typing in everything. So as you learn to do these things, it just makes it help. All right, so this is where we have now tied together objectives to section creation. That's all we've done so far.